When I walked into the kitchen that night, the smell hit me first, his cologne. Not my husband's. Evan's. The same scent that once made my knees weak, now clawed at my chest like a warning. It was faint, laced between the scent of garlic and wine, but unmistakable. I froze in the doorway, watching them laugh over the counter, Evan stirring pasta sauce, my husband, Ryan, pouring him another glass of red. My ex and my husband. Laughing. Like old friends. And for a split second, I couldn't breathe. "Hey, babe," Ryan said, looking up. "We're just making dinner. You okay?" I nodded automatically, my lips forming the lie before my mind could catch up. "Yeah, just tired." But inside, something was splintering. When Evan had shown up at our door 3 days earlier, suitcase in hand, eyes sunken and desperate, I'd felt guilty. He'd just gone through a messy breakup, he said. "No money, no place to stay. Just for a few nights, please, Emily," he'd whispered. "I have no one else." Ryan, being the overly kind soul he was, didn't hesitate. "Of course, man. Stay in the guest room. We've got space." I told myself it was fine. I was over Evan. We'd ended years ago. I was married now, to a man who trusted me more than I ever deserved. But by the third night, I started seeing the cracks forming in that trust. Evan was too comfortable. Too familiar. He'd wander the kitchen shirtless in the mornings, make himself coffee like he still lived here. Sometimes, when Ryan was at work, he'd sit too close on the couch, his voice soft, the way it used to be when he was trying to reel me back in. "Remember that trip to Tahoe?" he'd said one afternoon, his hand brushing mine. "We thought we were so in love." "We were stupid," I'd whispered, pulling away. He smiled. "Maybe. But stupid felt good." I'd laughed then, awkwardly, defensively, because a part of me still remembered. That's how it started. A look here. A touch there. A door closing just a second too late. I never meant for it to go further. But guilt and nostalgia are dangerous when mixed with loneliness. Ryan had been distant lately, working late, distracted, forgetting little things. My favorite tea, the way I liked my pillow turned. I told myself he wouldn't notice one mistake. One night of weakness. But the truth was, I noticed everything. And that made what I did unforgivable. It happened one rainy evening. Ryan had gone to his sister's for the night after a family emergency. Evan was in the guest room, watching a movie. The house felt too quiet, the rain too heavy, the air too thick with something I didn't want to name. He came into the living room after midnight. "You okay?" I should have said yes. I should have walked away. Instead, I said, "No." And then he kissed me. It wasn't fireworks or passion, it was regret in motion. But regret burns just as deep. The next morning, I couldn't look at myself in the mirror. Ryan texted that he'd be home by noon. I scrubbed the kitchen counters until my fingers hurt, pretending I could erase what had happened. Evan acted like nothing had changed. He smiled, joked, called me Em again. By the time Ryan walked through the door, I'd convinced myself it was a mistake I'd bury forever. Except Evan didn't bury it. He unearthed it and handed it to Ryan. It happened the next night. I came home from work to find my suitcase by the door. My clothes folded neatly. My toothbrush placed on top. Ryan sat at the dining table, silent. A half-empty whiskey glass by his hand. "Ryan." He looked up slowly. His eyes were hollow, rimmed with red. "Evan told me everything." The words hit me like a slap. "What?" I whispered. "He said you seduced him," Ryan said flatly. "That you couldn't resist old feelings." My heart dropped into my stomach. His lying. It wasn't like that, Ryan cut me off, his voice shaking. "I let that man into my home, Emily. I fed him. I treated him like family. And you." His voice broke. "You betrayed both of us." Tears blurred my vision. I reached for him, but he pushed my hand away. "Get out," he said quietly. "Ryan, please. Go stay with your mom. Figure out what the hell you want. But you can't stay here." I drove through the rain with trembling hands, headlights cutting through the blur of tears. When I pulled into my mother's driveway, I sat in the car for nearly an hour, unable to move. Everything I'd built, gone in a single, selfish night. The next morning, Evan texted. He believed me. "You'll move on, Em. Like you always do." That's when I realized it. He'd planned it. From the moment he showed up at my door. The late-night talks. The soft memories. The timing. He hadn't come because he had nowhere else to go. He came to ruin me. And I'd handed him the match. 2 weeks later, Ryan sent me a single text. I changed the locks. Don't come back. No anger. No explanation. Just finality. I stared at the message until the letters blurred. My hands were cold, but my heart burned. I'd betrayed the one person who'd ever truly loved me, and trusted the one who wanted to destroy me. Now, every night, I replay it all, the laugh in the kitchen, the scent of cologne, the storm outside that night. I can't decide which was worse, the lie I told myself, or the truth I finally saw. Because sometimes, betrayal doesn't come from the one you cheat with. It comes from the one who convinces you to. And by the time you realize it, you're already standing on the other side of the door. Suitcase in hand. With no one left to blame but yourself.